Hello. The video you are about to watch will contain language of an adult nature, which may consist of scenarios and scenes of a very adult nature. So if you are not an adult vis-a-vis under the age of 18, please stop, go watch one of my other videos, where I'm playing some video game, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 3, one of the other ones, or something like that. And get your mom to come in the room and watch this one. In other words, viewer discretion is advised. Don't have a watch. Well, that should be enough time for all the kids to get out of here. So, in other words, hey, what is up? This is Couch Potato Mike in the book club once again, bringing you chapter 25 of Freed by e.l.james. Right there. Oh. And before we just jump right into this, I do want to apologize for missing a day. Life happens, okay? Had personal stuff happens. I was without power for 24 hours. Didn't want to kill my phone recording on that because I had no way of charging it. So there you go. I try to keep these things out as regularly as I can. Let's just leave it at that. But while we're here, don't forget to subscribe because I am on that road to 300. I'm on the road to much more than that. But 300, baby steps, guys, baby steps. I'm so close right now, and you guys have been helping me. Thank you for the subscribing. Thanks for the thumbs up, too, because they really help out with the YouTube algorithm, which leads these videos to more people. And then they can subscribe. And then I'll have the whole world in my hands. Sorry, where was I? Oh, yeah. And ring the bell icon so you know when these are coming out. So without further ado, now that all that malarkey's out of the way, we're going to go right into Chapter 25, a.k.a. Friday, August the 26th of 2011. Once we're on board, I remove my bow tie, fold it, and stuff it into the outside breast pocket of my tux. Taylor hangs my jacket with his in the small closet, and I grab a blanket for each of us, then take a seat in the main cabin. I gaze out into the New Jersey darkness, tension leaching from my muscles into my bones. While we're in the terminal waiting for the Gulf Stream, I manage to restrain myself from calling Anna again. But I can bear it no longer, and as Stefan and Bailey do their final checks, I call Sawyer. "Mr. Gray," he says, above the background hum of the bar. People are out enjoying themselves, like Anna. "Sawyer, good evening. Is Mrs. Gray still with you?" "Yeah, she is, sir." I'm tempted to ask him to hand her his phone, but I know I will lose my shit and she's probably having a good time. I'm reassured that she's under Sawyer's watchful eye. "Do you want to talk to her?" he asks. "No, stick close to her. Keep her safe." Hyde could be anywhere. "Yes, sir. Prescott and I have her covered," Sawyer replies. I hang up and glance at Taylor, who is sitting diagonally opposite me, watching me impassively. I look back down at my phone, and I'm so mad at my wife. I didn't even tell Sawyer that we were on our way home. Taylor must think I'm crazy. I am crazy. Crazy for my fucking wife, who cannot be trusted to do as she's told. Taylor's seen me sitting on the floor in my foyer, staring at the elevator after she left me, and he had glue for the little glider. "Sir, she'll be fine," he says gently. I look up at him again and bite my tongue. This is none of his goddamn business. This is between me and my wife. Deep down, I think she's going to be fine, but I have to be sure. Why the hell couldn't she do what I needed her to do? Just once. Just now. My temper simmers, and I fire off a quick email to her. From Christian Gray, subject angry. You've not seen angry. August 26, 2011, 042 EST to Anastasia Gray. Anastasia, Sawyer tells me that you were drinking cocktails in a bar when you said you wouldn't. Do you have any idea how mad I am at the moment? I'll see you tomorrow. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. Bailey announces that we will be taking off shortly. I buckle up as Taylor does the same. "You can take the bed if you'd like to sleep," I offer. "I think it will elude me." "I'm good, sir." "Okay." I lay back and close my eyes, grateful that Bailey likes a nap and has slept all afternoon. She's going to fly us home. I sleep fitfully, my dreams a tangled mess of dominance and submission, standing over Anna with a cane in my hand, Elena standing with a cane over me. It's confusing and unsettling. I try not to sleep. I stay awake, I pace, feeling like a caged animal, though that sense is exacerbated because the Gulf Stream is not exactly designed for pacing. Hell, I want to howl at the moon. I want to be home. I want to curl up with Anna. Excuse me, guys. Need to clean these things more often. It's like trying to read through a fog. Need to get contacts. The plane landing at Boeing Field wakes me from my restless sleep. Opening my eyes, which are gritty from lack of sleep and dry from the air conditioning, I pick up my phone. Taylor is awake. I wonder if he slept at all. What's the time? I ask as Bailey brings the plane to a stop at the end of the runway. It's 10 after 4. That's early. Will we be met? I did email Ryan. Let's hope he got the message. We both switch on our phones at the same time. Shit. I have several messages, and judging by the irritating notifications coming from his phone, so does Taylor. There's a text and a missed call from Anna. I read her text first. Anna, I'm still in one piece. I had a nice time. Missing you. Please don't be mad. Too late, Anna. At least she's missed me. She's left a voicemail, which I listen to next. Her voice is breathy and anxious. Hi, it's me. Please don't be mad. We've had an incident at the apartment, but it's under control, so don't worry. No one is hurt. Call me. What the fuck? And my first thought is Leela is broken in again. Maybe it was her driving the Dodge. When I glance at Taylor, his face is ashen. Hyde was caught in the apartment. Ryan took him down. He's in police custody, he says. My world grinds to a screeching halt. Anna, I whisper as all the breath evaporates from my body. She's fine. Gail, she's fine too. What the hell? Exactly. Taylor looks as shaken as I feel. The plane taxis to a stop, and I call Anna immediately, but her phone goes straight to voicemail. Shit! Hyde, in the apartment? How? Why? What? I'm trying to wrap my head around this, but exhaustion is clouding my thinking. Anna's not answering. She must be asleep. I hope so. I'm relieved she's okay, but I need to see her to make sure. Stefan has opened the aircraft door, and the early morning chill seeps into the main cabin and my bones. Shivering, I get up and take my jacket from Taylor, who is first off the plane. Thanks, Bailey. Stefan, I say as I don my tux jacket to ward off the cool pre-dawn air. You're welcome, sir, she says. No, I mean it. Thank you for the last-minute scramble of it all. It's not a problem. Get some rest. I shake both their hands and follow Taylor out to where Sawyer is waiting with the Audi. Sawyer gives us a debrief during the drive back to Escala. While Anna and Kate were carousing at the Zigzag Cafe, Hyde, dressed in coveralls, arrived at Escala and buzzed the apartment service entrance. Ryan recognized him, let him in, and took him down. This all happened just before Anna, Sawyer, and Prescott returned home. The police and paramedics came, took Hyde away. They questioned everyone. What the actual fuck? Was he armed? Taylor asks. Yes, Sawyer responds. Is Ryan okay? I ask. Yes, but there was an altercation. One of the doors needs repair. Altercation? I don't believe it. They fought. Fuck. But Ryan's okay? Yes, sir. And Gail? She was there, Taylor presses. In the panic room. Thank you, Roz Bailey. I glance at Taylor, who rubs his forehead and his eyes screwed shut. Hell, both of our women were threatened by that evil motherfucker Hyde. Who called the police? Taylor asks. I did. Mrs. Gray insisted. She did the right thing, I mutter. What the hell was he hoping to achieve? I don't know, sir, Sawyer replies. One more thing. The press were outside last night. Damn. And after they'd lost interest in us. This day just keeps getting better and better, and it's only, I glance at my watch, 4:40 a.m. Ryan didn't get your email until he turned in, Sawyer says. It was too late to let everyone know you were on your way back. So Anna and Gail don't know? I ask. No, sir. Okay. We're quiet for the rest of the short journey. Each of us with our own haunting thoughts. If Anna had been home, she'd have been in the panic room with Gail, and Ryan would have had backup and wouldn't have had to face Hyde alone. Why can't she do as she's told? Sawyer parks the Audi in the garage, and both Taylor and I fly out of the car and into the elevator. Glad we came home when we did, I say to Taylor. Yes, sir, he nods in agreement. What a fucking mess. Indeed, he remains tight-lipped. We should have a full debrief when everyone has had some sleep. Agreed. The elevator doors open and we spill out into the foyer, each of us with one goal, to check on our woman. I head straight for our bedroom, and I know that's exactly what Taylor is doing. I barrel down the hallway and into the room, grateful that the thick carpet absorbs the sound of my footsteps. Anna is fast asleep on my side of the bed. She's curled up in a small ball wearing one of my t-shirts. She's here. She's fine. My relief almost brings me to my knees, but I stand and watch her. I can't risk touching her, as I know I'll wake her if I do. Wake her and bury myself in her. Wonder how drunk she was last night. Anna. What a shock to come back here to hide. I steel myself and brush my forefingers over her cheek. She mumbles something in her sleep and I freeze. I don't want to wake her. When she settles, I slink out and head back into the living room. I need a drink. As I pass the foyer door, I notice that it's hanging off its hinges. There are scuff marks over the walls, but no blood that I can see. Thank God. An altercation? Looks like it was a full-on fight. And Hyde had a gun. He could have murdered Ryan right here in my home. The thought is sickening. In the living room, I head over to the bar cart and pour myself a Lafroig. I toss the contents of the glass down in one swallow, appreciating the burn as it sears my throat, the warmth spreading downward and joining the maelstrom in my gut. I take a deep breath and pour another, larger glass, and head back into the bedroom. I should really get some sleep, but I am too wired and too mad. No, not mad. Raging. The sanctity of my home invaded by that cocksucking motherfucking asshole. Quietly, I drag the bedroom chair from its position by the window to my side of the bed. Sitting down, I watch Anna sleep as I slowly sip my scotch and pinch the bridge of my nose, trying to quieten the ferocious storm inside me. It doesn't work. He wanted to harm my wife. That's the only conclusion I can come to. Kidnap her, kill her, to get back at me and Anna. She wasn't here, or I asked her to be, told her to be. My anger simmers, curdling into bitter rage, and I have no outlet, only this drink and the fire it leaves in its wake with each sip. I recross my legs and tap my finger against my lip as I think of all the ways I'd like to end Hyde. Strangulation, suffocation, beat him to death, shoot him. I have Leela's gun. And punish Anna for not doing as she's told. Paddle, flog her, cane, belt. But I can't. She won't let me. Fuck. As dawn breaks, it gradually lights the room. Anna stirs and her eyes flutter open. Her lips part as she gasps in surprise when she realizes I'm sitting and watching her. Hi, she whispers. I finish my drink and place the glass on the bedside table while I contemplate what I'm going to say to her. Hello, I murmur, and it feels like someone else is talking, someone robotic, someone without feeling. You're back. It would appear so. She sits up, eyes bright and blue and lovely. How long have you been sitting here watching me sleep? Long enough. You're still mad, she whispers. Oh, I wish I was just mad. Robotic me says the word out loud, testing it, but it's not enough. No, Anna, I am way, way beyond mad. Way beyond mad. That doesn't sound good. No, it's not. We gaze at each other, and I wish I could stand up and yell and scream and tell her how I feel, how disappointed and relieved I am, how frightened I am, how fucking furious I am. I don't think I've ever experienced the depth of these conflicting feelings that plague me right now. But robotic me doesn't know what to do. All systems are offline, trying to contain my rage. She reaches over, grabs her glass, and takes a sip of water. Ryan caught Jack, she says, placing the glass back down. I know. Her brow creases. Are you going to be monosyllabic for long? She trying to be funny? Yes, I respond, because it's all I can manage. Her frown deepens. I'm sorry I stayed out. Are you? No. Then why say it then? Because I don't want you to be mad at me. It's too late for that, Anna. I sigh and run a hand through my hair. I think Detective Clark wants to talk to you, she says. I'm sure he does. Christian, please, please what? Don't be so cold. Cold? Anastasia, cold is not what I'm feeling at the moment. I'm burning. Burning with rage. I don't know how to deal with these, I wave my hand seeking inspiration, feelings. Her eyes widen farther, and before I can stop her, she clambers out of bed and onto my lap. It's so unexpected, a welcome, disarming diversion from my rage. Slowly and carefully, so I don't break her, I wrap my arms around her and bury my nose in her hair, inhaling her unique Anna scent. She's here. She's okay. My throat burns with my unshed tears of gratitude. Thank heavens she's safe. She embraces me and kisses my neck. Oh, Mrs. Gray, what am I going to do with you? My voice is hoarse and I kiss the top of her head. How much have you had to drink? Why? You don't normally drink hard liquor. This is my second glass. I've had a trying night, Anastasia. Give a man a break. I sense her smile. If you insist, Mr. Gray. She nuzzles my throat once more. You smell heavenly. I slept on your side of the bed because your pillow smells of you. Oh, Anna. I kiss her hair. Did you now? I wondered why you were on this side. I'm still mad at you. I know, she whispers. My hand moves rhythmically down her back. Touching her brings me solace and starts to ground me in the now. And I'm mad at you, she says. I stop caressing her back. And what, pray, have I done to deserve your ire? I'll tell you later when you're no longer burning with rage. She kisses my neck and I close my eyes and hold her. Tight. I never want to let her go. I could have lost her. She could have been killed by that asshole. When I think of what might have happened, I squeeze the words past the knot of fury that's still lodged in my throat. I'm okay. Oh, Anna, I choke out, and I want to cry. I'm okay. We're all okay. A bit shaken, but Gail is fine. Ryan is fine, and Jack is gone. No thanks to you, I mutter. She leans back and glares at me. What do you mean? I don't want to argue about it right now, Anna. I think she's weighing my words, and for whatever reason, she cuddles into me once more. She wouldn't if she knew the truth. She knows the truth. She knows me, the bad seed. She's seen the monster. I want to punish you, I whisper, like it's a deep, dark confession. Really beat the shit out of you. She stills. I know, she whispers. It's not what I expect her to say. Maybe I will. I hope not, she says, her voice quiet but unwavering. I sigh. It's never going to happen. This I know, and I reconciled myself to that when she came back after leaving me. But I want to. Really fucking want to. But she left me last time I did. Now she's my wife, and here we are. I hug her tighter. Anna, you'd try the patience of a saint. I could accuse you of many things, Mr. Gray, but being a saint isn't one of them. And there she is, my girl. I chuckle, and though it sounds hollow, even to my ears, it's cathartic. Fair point, well made as ever, Mrs. Gray. I kiss her forehead. Back to bed. You had a late night, too. I pick her up and deposit her back on the bed. Lie down with me, she says, her eyes imploring me to stay. No, I have things to do. I reach for my empty glass. Go back to sleep. I'll wake you in a couple hours. Are you still mad at me? Yes. I'll go back to sleep then. Good. I tuck her in and kiss her forehead. Sleep. I stride out of the room before I change my mind, and I know that I'm running from her. because she has the power to wound me like no other. If Hyde had gotten to her, shit. Her absence from this world would hurt me more than anything I've experienced so far. I wander into the kitchen, deposit the glass by the sink, and head into my study. I need an action plan. I scribble down everything that I need to do, then send Andrea an email and cancel my meetings in Washington, D.C. I tell her I've had to return to Seattle, but can still have the meetings via WebEx or phone. I press send, knowing that once the news cycle picks up on Hyde's arrest, it will be self-explanatory. I pull out Hyde's file that I had. Sorry, guys. I pull out Hyde's file to have another look through the information Welch has provided, to see if there are any clues to Hyde's insanity. I keep coming back to one detail that's been nagging me since I read it the first time. I wonder if it's a coincidence or material to this mess. Jackson, Jack Daniel Hyde, date of birth February 26, 1979, Brightmoor, Detroit, Michigan. Hell. I'm so tired my brain is fried, but I know I won't sleep. I need some fresh air to clear the fear and anxiety from my system. Quietly, I sneak into the closet and change into my running gear. But before I go out, I check on Anna. She's fast asleep. With my iPod strapped to my arm, I head down to the lobby in the elevator. As the doors open, I note the 2 photographers outside. I slip through the rear doors to the utility area, then through a series of corridors and out into the passage behind the building. I hit the early morning streets of Seattle, the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony playing loud and proud through my earbuds. I run and run and run, down Fifth Avenue to Vine. I run past Anna's old apartment where Kate Kavanaugh should be sleeping off her hangover. I run along Western, veering off to go through Pike Place Market. It's grueling, but I don't stop until I'm back at Escala, and then I do it all over again. I return a sweaty mess with my mariner's cap pulled low over my face. I make my way, unrecognized, through the press gathered outside the building and safely into the elevator. Mrs. Jones is in the kitchen. "Gail, how are you?" I ask as soon as I see her. "Good, Mr. Gray. Glad you and Taylor are back." "Tell me what happened." As I fill and drink a glass of water, she gives me a quick run-through of last night's events. How Ryan ushered her into the panic room, and afterward, once Hyde was caught, what happened with the police and the paramedics. "I never thought we'd have to use that room. I'm glad I had it installed." "Yes, sir. I'm grateful, too. Do you want a coffee?" "Not yet. I'll have some orange juice for Anna." She smiles. "Coming right up." "Is Taylor awake?" "No, sir." "Good. Let him rest." She hands me the juice, and I leave her to go wake Anna. She's still asleep. "There's some orange juice for you here." I place it on her bedside table, and she stirs. Her eyes are on me, her teeth toying with her bottom lip. "I'm going to take a shower," I mutter and leave. I strip quickly, leaving my clothes on the bathroom floor. My run has done little to improve my temper. I start washing my hair vigorously and mentally run through a checklist of what I have to do this morning. I sense Anna before I hear her. She closes the shower door and then steps behind me and places her arms around me. I stiffen at her touch. Everywhere. Don't touch me. Ignoring my reaction, she pulls me closer so that I feel her warm, naked body against mine. She presses her cheek to my back. We're skin on skin, and it's unbearable. I'm too mad at you right now. I'm too mad at myself. I shift so we're both under the water and continue rinsing the suds out of my hair. She presses her lips against me in small, soft kisses. "No, Anna," I caution her. Stop." I burn for her, but my thoughts are too dark. I'm too angry. Her hand skims down over my belly, and I know what she has in mind, but I want none of it. I want all of it. All of her. No. I place both of mine on hers and shake my head. "Don't," I whisper. She steps back immediately as if I've slapped her, so I turn around and her eyes flit to my erection. "It's just biology, baby." I clasp her chin. "I'm still fucking mad at you," I whisper, and rest my forehead against hers, closing my eyes. And I'm fucking mad at myself. I should have stayed in Seattle. She reaches up and strokes my cheek, and I desperately want to give her into her tender touch. Don't be mad at me, please. I think you're overreacting, she says. What? I straighten so her hand falls to her side and I glare at her. Overreacting? I rant. Some fucking lunatic gets into my apartment to kidnap my wife and you think I'm overreacting? She gazes up at me, but she doesn't back away. No, that's not what I was referring to. I thought this was about me staying out. Oh. I close my eyes. I left her for one night, and she could have been kidnapped or worse. Murdered by that asshole. Christian, I wasn't here, she whispers in the gentlest of tones. I know. I open my eyes, feeling hopeless and worthless at once. And all because you can't follow a simple fucking request. I don't want to discuss this now in the shower. I'm still fucking mad at you, Anastasia. You're making me question my judgment. I leave her and grab a towel as I stalk out of the bathroom. I want to hang on to my anger. It protects me and keeps her away from me. It keeps me safe. Safe from more complex and difficult feelings. I towel dry myself. I'm still damp as I dress, but I don't give a damn. I storm out of the closet and along the corridor to the kitchen. Coffee? Gail calls after me as I head to my study. Please. At my desk, I look once more through Hyde's background check. There's something here. I can feel it. Gail appears and leaves a black coffee on my desk. Thanks. I take a sip, and it's hot and dark. Damn, it tastes good. I call Welch. Good morning, Gray. I hear you're back in Seattle, Welch says. I am. Who told you? I just got an update from Taylor. So you've heard about Hyde? Yes. I put a call into my contact at King County PD. Find out what's going on. Thanks. And I've heard from the FBI. There's a knock at my door and Anna stands in the doorway wearing the purple dress that reveals every womanly curve she possesses. Her hair is in a bun and there are diamonds in her ears. She looks prim and proper, hiding her inner freak, and it's arousing as hell. I shake my head, dismissing her, noting the downturn of her mouth as she turns away. Sorry, Welch. What did you say? The FBI. There's a match. The partial print in the EC-135. It's Hyde? Yes, sir. The FBI uncovered his convictions as a minor in Detroit. Detroit again. They match, he says. Though those documents are supposed to be sealed, which is why it's taken a few days. What does that mean? They may be inadmissible. Shit, really? Well, there's also the footage we have of Hyde outside of Scala that Prescott found earlier this week. It's obvious he was checking the place out. And of course the CCTV from GEH's server room. The police have been wanting to question him about the incident at GEH, but they haven't been able to locate him. They have him now. Indeed, Welch growls. And the two investigations are going to compare Hyde's prints for a match. About time. Did you get anything out of his former assistants? No, they're reluctant to talk. They all said he was an excellent boss. I find that hard to believe. Agreed. Given the hushed-up harassment claims? Welch mutters. We've only spoken to 4. I'll keep pushing. Okay. What do you want to do about the heightened security around your family? Let's keep it for now and see where this goes with Hyde. We have no idea if he's working alone or with someone. Okay, I'll report back when I've heard from my contact. Great, thanks. I check my emails. There's one from Sam letting me know that he's been inundated but with press inquiries about last night. Sorry. I respond, telling him to send all inquiries to the King County PD press office. Taylor enters. Good morning, sir. Did you get some sleep? He blows out of breath. A few hours. Enough. Good. We have a great deal to cover. He pulls up a chair and we run through my to-do list. And finally, get a carpenter to fix the door. Will do. Briefing at 10 with the entire team. I'll let them know. Taylor says, please. Sawyer and Ryan are in their racks. I'm assuming they're still asleep. Prescott is sifting through the CCTV from last night to find out how Hyde got into the building. Good. Sir, he says in a way that gets my immediate attention. Yes? I'm grateful we came home last night. Maybe you have a sixth sense or something. I'm taken aback. Taylor, I was just mad at my wife. His sudden smile is wry and world-weary. Happens to all of us, sir. I nod, but his words are not reassuring. He's divorced. Don't go there, Gray. Thank God Anna and Gail are safe, I add as I get up. I'm hungry for my breakfast. Yes, sir. He follows me out of the study. I've made you an omelet, Gail says to me as she gives us both a huge smile. Maybe Taylor and Gail will tie the knot. Who knows? Ignoring them, I take a seat at the kitchen counter, and once Taylor has left the room, I ask Gail if Anna ate. She did, Mr. Gray. An omelet, too. Good. As if I've conjured her by mentioning her name, Anna appears in the doorway wearing her jacket. You're going? I ask in disbelief. To work? Yes, of course. She moves closer. Christian, we've hardly been back a week. I have to go to work. But I rake my hand through my hair, feeling anxious. What about yesterday? Hyde, the kidnapping. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice Gail leave the kitchen. I know we have a great deal to talk about, Anna continues. Perhaps if you've calmed down, we can do it this evening. Calm down, I whisper, and I'm immediately incandescent again. This woman is pressing every single button I have this morning. She flushes, embarrassed. You know what I mean. No, Anastasia, I don't know what you mean. I don't want to fight. I was coming to ask if I could take my car. No, you can't, I snap. Okay, she says quietly. And just like that, all the wind is out of my sails, and I'm no longer mad, just tired. I was expecting a battle. Prescott will accompany you. My tone is softer. Okay, she says, and she steps toward me again. Anna, what are you doing? She leans up and kisses me sweetly at the corner of my mouth. As her lips press against my skin, I close my eyes, savoring her touch. And I don't deserve this. I don't deserve her. Don't hate me, she whispers. I grab her hand. I don't hate you, and Anna, I could never hate you. You haven't kissed me, she whispers. I know, but I want to. Damn Gray, carpe diem. Standing abruptly, I grasp her face between my hands and raise her mouth to mine. Her lips part in surprise, and I pounce, pushing my tongue into her mouth, tasting and testing her. She tastes of heaven and better times and minty toothpaste. Anna, I love you. You just drive me crazy. I release her before she can properly respond. I know she'll never get off to work if I don't back away. I'm breathing harder. Taylor will take you and Prescott to SIP. I fight to recover my composure and dampen my desire. Anna blinks at me, her breathing labored too. Taylor, I called. Sir, Taylor is standing in the doorway. Tell Prescott Mrs. Gray is going to work. Can you drive them, please? Certainly. Taylor turns on his heel and disappears. Feeling more myself, I look back at Anna. If you could try to stay out of trouble today, I would appreciate it, I mutter. I'll see what I can do. Her eyes shine with amusement, and it's impossible not to respond. I'll see you later, then, I reply. Laters, she whispers, and leaves with Taylor and Prescott in tow. After breakfast, I head back into my study and call Andrea. I tell her I'll be working from home, as I wasn't planning on being in the office anyway. She puts me through to Sam, and we have a tedious discussion about owning the message with regard to Hyde's break-in. No, we don't, Sam. Not in this instance. But, he protests, no buts. This is a police matter. All press inquiries about this incident to them. End of discussion. He sighs. Sam is a publicity whore. Very well, Mr. Gray. He sounds sullen, but I don't care. I hang up and call my dad and tell him about Hyde. We agree to keep up security for the next week just in case. Will you tell Mom? Yes, son. You take care. Will do. I hang up and the phone buzzes with a text from Elliot. Elliot. Yo, bro, you okay? Hyde. Fuck. He's brief and to the point as ever. He must have seen the news or Anna's told Kate. I call him to fill him in on the events, and we agree to meet up over the weekend. He wants to talk about something, but not over the phone. Whatever, dude, I say. And by the way, your girlfriend has been leading my wife astray. She should have been here in the panic room. Instead, she was out getting drunk with Catherine. Catherine, eh? Kate, I roll my eyes. Whatever. And you're telling me this why? I don't know, dude. Just sharing my thoughts. Elliot sighs. You'll have to take it up with her. Oh? Have they split up? What does that mean? He continues before I can ask any questions. This guy is following me around. Do I still need him? Let's see what happens with Hyde over the next few days. Okay, hotshot, it's your money. Later's Elliot. Ryan and Sawyer give Taylor and me a full debrief. I can't decide if Ryan is a hero or an idiot for letting Hyde into the apartment. His face is pretty battered and he has a cut over one eye. After their altercation, judging from his bruised face, he must have had quite a skirmish with our intruder. He says he only let Hyde in because Anna wasn't here. I glance at Taylor, whose mouth is set in a grim line. Ryan put Gale at risk, panic room or not. The good news is that Prescott, before she left this morning, located the CCTV footage of Hyde arriving in the basement garage. His van is still down there. I ask Sawyer to let Detective Clark know. Yes, sir. Is that all? Taylor asks Ryan and Sawyer. Yes, sir, they say in unison. Thank you for everything, I tell them. I'm grateful you caught the bastard, Ryan. I felt an enormous sense of satisfaction knowing I brought the guy down. Let's hope the police charge him, I add. Ryan and Sawyer leave. I have a carpenter arriving in about a half an hour to repair the broken door, Taylor informs me. Good. I'm going to scour what was on Hyde's computer to see if I can find any further clues as to what could be behind all this. Sir, we have a potential problem, Taylor says. What? Technically, Ryan did grant Hyde access to the apartment. I pale. Only under unique circumstances, and Hyde was armed. True, but it's something to bear in mind when speaking with the cops. Yes, agreed. Talk to Ryan. Will do. Taylor, take the night off. Gale, too. In fact, all of you. Mr. Gray, you had a very late night and little sleep, as did Sawyer and Prescott, watching my wife last night. Taylor looks grim. I'd like to leave Ryan on lookout. He's in no fit to go out. Okay. Thank you, sir. Taylor nods and exits while I turn my attention to my computer, specifically to the file that Barney's recovered from Hyde's hard drive. It's 10:45. At 10:45, I stop combing through his creepy, obsessive collection of all things Gray and log on to WebEx. Vanessa's online too, and we start our conference with the Securities and Exchange Commissions. It's brief and convivial chat, and GEH is co-opted on a task force that will examine the issue of conflict materials in tech. When we hang up with the SEC, Vanessa informs me that she's located Sebastian Miller, the truck driver who rescued Roz and me when Charlie Tango went down. She's introduced him to our logistics team, and he'll shortly become an affiliate with a haulage contractor for GEH uses. That's great news. Mr. Gray, he was stunned to get the call. I bet. Thanks for tracking him down. When that's over, I call Senator Blandino. Our conversation is short, and we resolve to have lunch next time she's in Seattle. Taylor is standing in the doorway when I finish the call. Yes? Detective Clark is here, sir. Show him in. Detective Clark has a firm handshake and a curmudgeonly hang-dong appearance. Mr. Gray, thank you for seeing me. Please sit. I direct him to a chair in front of my desk. Thank you. I was hoping to get a brief history of your dealings with Jackson Hyde. Of course. I explained that I own SIP, that Anna used to work for him until he was fired, and all the circumstances around that, including my run-in with him at SIP. You assaulted him? Clark's eyebrows are raised. I taught him some manners. He attacked my wife. I see. If you check his employment history, he has a track record of being fired for assaulting his female colleagues. You think he's behind the GEH arson attempt? I do. We have the CCTV from Gray House. Yes, I've seen it. Thank you for the CCTV from the garage. The forensic team have been examining the van. Did they find anything? This He pulls out a plastic evidence bag. In it is a note. He shows it to me so I could read the note through the bag. It's scrawled in black Sharpie. Gray, do you know who I am? Because I know who you are, baby bird. I look at the words blankly. What a weird note. Do you know what this means? Clark asks. I shake my head. No idea. He slides it back into the inside breast pocket of his jacket. I have some more questions from Mrs. Gray. How is she? She's good. She's remarkably tough. Is she here? She's at work. You could phone her. I see. I prefer a more hands-on approach. I'd like to talk to her face-to-face. Clark grunts. I'm sure I can make that happen. Given the intense press interest in my wife and me, I would request that you go to her office. I can do that. He nods and sits quietly while I send a quick email to Hannah to see when Anna might be free. Hyde had a gun. Does he have a license for it? We're checking. Have you spoken with the FBI team investigating the sabotage of my helicopter? We've been in touch. Good. I suspect he might be behind that too. He does seem a little obsessed. A little. I'd tell him about Hyde's computer hard drive and all the information he had accumulated about my family. Clark frowns. Interesting. Can we have that? Can we have access to that? By all means. I'll ask my IT people to send it to you. My computer pings announcing a response from Hannah. My wife is free at 3 this afternoon at her office. Excellent. Well, I won't keep you, Mr. Gray. He stands, as do I. I'm relieved you have him, and hopefully he'll stay behind bars for a long time. Clark's smile is menacing, and I suspect he's thinking the same. Great view you have from up here, he says. Thank you. Taylor shows him out, and I compose an email. From Christian Gray, subject statement, August 26, 2011, 13:04, to Anastasia Gray. Anastasia, Detective Clark will be visiting your office today at 3 p.m. to take your statement. I have insisted that he should come to you, as I don't want you going to the police station. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. I go back to searching through the contents of Hyde's computer. An email arrives from Anastasia Gray, subject statement, August 26, 2011, 13:12, to Christian Gray. Okay, A, X. Anastasia Gray, editor, SIP. At least I get a kiss. I open up Hyde's files once more, and he has a great deal about Carrick in one of his files. Why is he so interested in my dad? I don't get it. Notification for an email from Anna pops up on my screen. From Anastasia Gray, subject your flight, August 26, 2011, 13:24, to Christian Gray. What time did you decide to come back to Seattle yesterday? Anastasia Gray, editor, SIP. The kiss is missing, I respond. From Christian Gray, subject your flight, August 26, 2011 to 13:26, to Anastasia Gray. Why? Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. From Anastasia Gray, subject your flight, August 26, 2011, 13:29, to Christian Gray. Call it curiosity. Anastasia Gray, editor, SIP. What is she trying to find out? I send a glib answer. From Christian Gray, subject your flight, August 26, 2011, 13:22, to Anastasia Gray. Curiosity killed the cat. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. From Anastasia Gray, subject, August 26, 2011, 13:35, to Christian Gray. What is that oblique reference to? Another threat? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? You decide to return because I went out for a drink with my friend after you asked me not to. Or did you return because a madman was in your apartment? Anastasia Gray, editor, SIP. Hell. I stare at the screen, uncertain what to say. It wasn't a threat. Jesus. She knows I came back before I knew about Hyde. If she doesn't, she hasn't done the time zone math. What can I say? I'm staring blankly out of the window when Mrs. Jones knocks on the office door. Would you like some lunch? Yeah, sure. Thank you, Gail. Very good, Mr. Gray. With a polite smile, she leaves me with my thoughts, and I'm still trying to think of something to respond to Anna when I hear the ping of a new message arriving from my iMac. From Anastasia Gray, subject, here's the thing. Date, August 26, 2011, 13:56, to Christian Gray. I will take your silence as an admission that you did indeed return to Seattle because I changed my mind. I am an adult female and I went for a drink with my friend. I did not understand the security ramifications of changing my mind because you never tell me anything. I found out from Kate that security has, in fact, been stepped up for all the Greys, not just us. I think you generally overact when my safety is concerned, and I understand why, but you're like a boy crying wolf. I never have a clue about what is a real concern or merely something that is perceived as a concern by you. I had two of the security detail with me. I thought both Kate and I would be safe. Fact is, we were safer in that bar than at the apartment. Had I been fully informed of the situation, I would have taken a different course of action. I understand your concerns are something to do with the material that was on Jack's computer here, or so Kate believes. Do you know how annoying it is to find out from that my best friend knows more about what's going on with you than I do? And I am your wife. So are you going to tell me, or will you be continuing to treat me like a child, guaranteeing that I continue to behave like one? You're not the only one who is fucking pissed, okay? Anna. Anastasia Gray, editor SIP. Cursing in shouty capitals, too. Two can play at this game. From Christian Gray, subject Here's the Thing, August 26, 2011, 13:59, to Anastasia Gray. As ever, Mrs. Gray, you are forthright and challenging in email. Perhaps we can discuss this when you get home to our apartment. You should be watching your language. I'm still fucking pissed, too. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. Fuck it. I don't want an email fight with Anna. I storm out of my office and into the living area. My temper eases at the sight of my cold chicken salad that Mrs. Jones has prepared for my lunch. Maybe I'm so mad because I'm hungry. Thanks, I mumble. I'm going to the Greek deli that Mrs. Gray likes to pick up her favorite foods from there for this evening. She'll just have to pop them in the oven or the microwave and heat them up. Great, I say distracted. Why are Anna and I always fighting these days? Mr. Gray, Mrs. Jones is trying to get my attention. Yes? Thank you for this evening, but I must say you look tired. Have you thought about taking a quick nap? I frown. A nap? I'm not a child. No, it's just an idea. I'll take it under advisement. I mutter and bring my salad into my office. Welch calls while I'm eating. Welch. Interesting development in the Hyde case. He rasps in his gruff voice. Turns out Hyde's van in the garage was kitted out with a mattress and enough ketamine to fell a Texas rodeo. Ketamine? Shit. I was right. Yes, sir, and syringes. I grimace. I loathe syringes. Welch continues. Looks like our boy will be charged with attempted kidnapping first degree. They'll probably throw in criminal trespass, robbery, and illegal possession of a firearm, too. Also, there was a note. Clark showed me the note. Mean anything to you? No, and Hyde left it in the van. Maybe he changed his mind about that. Because it's nonsensical? Maybe. He was delivering lights to one of the new tenants in the building. Welch growls. Delivering lights? What do you mean? Yes, he was working for a courier company. The client lives at apartment 16. Oh yes, I've met him. Young guy. That's how Hyde got access. He's a wily bastard. That he is, sir. Welch agrees. One more thing. I've heard from King County PD and the FBI at the Prince match. We have him. It looks it. There must be a Detroit connection, but I'm damned if I know what it is, I mutter. I'll keep digging, Welch responds. That's it for now. Thanks for the update. He hangs up and I look at the remains of my lunch. My appetite has evaporated. What the hell did that evil motherfucker have planned for my wife? Kidnap, rape, murder, and he had syringes. Perhaps he was going to inject her with a filthy, dirty syringe. Bile rises in my throat, but I swallow it down. Fuck! I have to get out of here and get some fresh air. Abandoning my lunch, I walk out through the living room and, ignoring Gail's anxious look, take the elevator down to the main lobby. The photographers have gone, so I slip out of the front entrance and walk, and walk, and walk. Life in the Emerald City goes on. People are going about their business. The streets are crowded, but I manage to weave my way through the throng. My poor wife. He could have killed her. If I ever get my hands on that evil, twisted asshole, I will end him. Once more, I imagine all the ways I could do that. Shit, get a grip, Gray. I'm outside Nordstrom. Maybe I should buy something for Anna. Anything. I check that my wallet's in my back pocket and head in. I'm in the scarf section. A silk scarf? Yeah, that works. I'm calmer when I get back to the apartment. You didn't like your lunch? Would you like something else? Gail offers. No thanks, I think I'll take your advice. I'm going to lie down. I'm exhausted. Gail's smile is sympathetic. Once in our bedroom, I take off my shoes, lie down and close my eyes. Anna is laid out before me, naked. She holds out her arms. You could do anything you want to me. A punishment fuck? She's in the harness in the playroom. What will you do to me? I stand behind her, a cane in my hand, whatever I want. She's on the table, face down. She cannot move. She's tied. I slap a paddle against my hand. Her buttocks clench in anticipation. She's on her knees, her forehead pressed to the floor, her hands tied behind her back. I want your mouth, your cunt, your ass, your body, your soul. She kneels before me. I'm yours. I will always be yours, husband of mine. Mine. Yours. I wake, disoriented. I'm at home. It's late afternoon. By the look of the light, I check the time. It's 5:30. Anna won't be home yet. I rub my face and walk into the bathroom, a plan hatching in my mind. I'm anticipating one hell of a fight. Anna says she's pissed at me. In the closet, I remove my shirt, replace it with a t-shirt, and change into my playroom jeans in readiness for her return. I tuck the new scarf into my back pocket. Maybe we can both get what we want. In my office, I print out her email and notice that she hasn't sent me any messages since our last exchange. My wife does not back down from a challenge. This evening will be interesting. Gail is absent, as is Taylor. Idly, I wonder what they're doing. Ryan is in Taylor's office. He stands when I enter. Good evening, Mr. Gray. You can hang out upstairs. I'd like to give everyone the night off. We'll call you if we need you. He hesitates before agreeing. Okay, sir. And with that, I wander back into the living room and over to the piano to await my wife's return. Behind me, the late afternoon sun is drifting toward the horizon, and I'm in my corner of the ring, waiting for the match to start, gloves on, mouth guard in. How many rounds will I go with Mrs. Gray? The soft ping of the elevator rings through the foyer. She's here. Showtime, Gray. And so ends part 1 of chapter 25. Yeah, it's a long one. Next half is going to be as long, possibly even a little longer, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Once again, the Britishisms kind of shine through because, you know, the author e.l.james, she is British. And the C word that I just said, cunt, yeah, that's not as bad of a thing over there. They use it in casual conversation all the time. It's a lot more taboo on this side of the pond in America, where I'm from. I know I've got a few viewers, listeners, whatever you want to call yourself, from other parts of the world. And I want to say hi. Hi to everybody in Scandinavia. What can I say? I think I've got people watching me from Norway. And shout out to everybody from Norway and Iceland and like Georgia. Everybody watching me. Hi, guys. But no, tune in next time because we're going to try to have the next part of this out tomorrow. So that's going to do it for this episode. So for the Couch Potato Mike YouTube channel, this is Couch Potato Mike, reminding you that in the end, guys, we're all stories. So let's make them good ones. See you next time.